Hi everyone, welcome to Last Minute Coders. My name is Vinay, and in this video, as you have seen in the title and in the thumbnail, we are going to explore the sprint functionality of PowerApps. So before starting this video, I would like to request you all to please subscribe and like this video if you like the content. So I've created one demo app for this tutorial. Before starting this video, let's explore this demo. See, this app added one icon, the plus icon. Once I click on this, we will see some form up here. Okay, and if I enter some value and some values like this, and if I will print this form, so by default what happens, what print function does is, like the way I am seeing this screen, right, it is exactly going to print me that only. See this, the space is there, so it is exactly printing that. In our daily scenario, we don't print like this. We want like it to be properly aligned, right? So we are going to learn that. And this is the second demo. Again, I'll click on this add icon. Again, I'll give some value. Let's say again BMW, and I'll click on print. So this time, see, the indentation is proper, the UI looks good, and even if you are seeing some space from here, that is because it is on letter. But if I change it to A4, see this, now it is properly indented. And if by default it is like this, background graphics are off, we need to turn this on. See this, now the colors are also coming up correctly. And if I click on save and save it on my desktop, and let's refresh here, see this. So this is the kind of PDF we are going to see. It is properly aligned. Everything looks fine the way it should look. And before starting this video, I want to tell you one more thing. If your form is not like, it is way too big to come in a single page, then there is a limitation in PowerApps that you can't print multiple page. So before, like if you have need to print something, just make sure that whatever you are printing should cover in a single page, because multiple page print is not possible yet. Maybe in future it may be possible, but currently it is not possible. So let's start this video. I hope you guys are excited. So let's start. Okay, so I've created this tutorial for print functionality, and if you are also like learning or you have your data set, then you don't need to do this step. But for those who are like who are just following me, just add some sample your SharePoint list, any list. Okay, let me add some sample list. I'll add the stable cars. Okay, once you add this list, go to this app here, click on this drop down, select on start property, create some collection. I'll name it as coal cars, table cars. Okay, this is done. By default, I know my table cars has like more than 3000 items, but by default this coal car will contain 500 items only. If I'll click on these three dots and click on run on start, and if I now go up here, select this, see, it will only have 500 items. This is because of the delegation. If your SharePoint list has less than 2000 items, go up here in this general and just increase the data row limit to 2000. I am not doing that in this video, but you can. And if you want to increase this limit more than 2000, then you can watch this video which you are seeing up in this information button. You can just click this and just watch that video. Okay, so in this video, what we are going to do is we are going to explore the sprint functionality. So this is one dummy screen. I'll go up here, I'll add some containers. Okay, layout, go to layout, add one container. It's a good habit to have containers, right? 0 0, this width as parent dot width. Okay, height I'll give as like 80. Okay, 80. Give some color, let's give like this orange. Okay, you can rename this container like container or maybe header container. I'll rename it as SC header container. Let's add some label inside it. Okay, size will be 24, center align, width again parent dot width, x property 0, y property 0, height let's give it as 80 only. Let's make it a semi bold, white color, right? Can go up here, change the text to like explore print functionality. Okay, and we will create one button which will have the print function. Okay, let's drag it here, increase its size, change the name to print form, something like this. Okay, border radius, I don't like the border radius, so I'll keep it as 0. I don't need the border, keep it as 0. You can change this color to like this, or maybe this little bit darker, and here you can change this thing. If you go to hover color, see if I hover over this now, it will be blue. So I'm just showing you like how you can make your UI also good without doing much. Like this color fit, just you need to change this RGB to self.fill. That's it. See, now this looks, UI wise this looks good. And see, if you do something like this, go to the display setting, scale to fit. If you turn this off, like this we do if we need to make our app more dynamic, like we need to run our app on various different screen, like on lappy, tablet, or even on mobile devices. So we do this, and if I again now play, see this, so this extra space is here, right? To fix this, just go up here, change its x property to something like this, parent dot width minus self dot width, right? And if you will do this time it is like properly aligned to the right hand side. Okay, and to confirm it, let me again turn this on, save it, play it again, go up here, go to display setting, turn this off again, let's play it. See, this time the whole screen is covering and this is on the extreme right hand side. Okay, so this is done. Now let's create one form. Simply I'll go to this, click on this screen one, go to here, insert, search for forms, form, this edit form, click on this. If you want to align this, align like this, go to its x property first, make it as 0, and go to its y property, say like something like this, header, or maybe my container name is etsy dot height, I'll say. Okay, so see this, it will start from where my this header container ends. Okay, so yeah, this looks good. I'll make it as parent dot width, right? And height, I'll make it something like this, parent dot height minus self dot y. Okay, so it will cover the whole area, and here only I'll add one plus sign Okay, in this header container, insert some icon. Okay, icon. I'll have some this plus icon. Okay, you can give the border something like this, and you can keep it also as 80 width, 80 height, so it will be in square in size. Change the color to white, right? On select, just write something like this. Okay, wait, first let me connect this to a data source, this form. Just click on your data or this drop down. I'll select this collection of cars, right? I selected this. Okay, let me click here, run app on start. Okay, let's first select with table cars, then we will change back to collection cars. Okay, let me now change back it to collection cars, right? And this plus button, let me have some like this. I'll say new form and just give this form name here, form 1. Okay, so basically what happens is, see, it will, when you will play your app, it will come up like this. If you will click here, you will see the data, and you can do something like this. You can create a submit button. I'm not like exploring those things in this video. Okay, so we are not discussing like what forms are, but we will just explore the sprint function. So this is the quickest way to create like the UI, a form kind of a UI. That is why I opted for this. And for this form also, instead of this 3 columns, you can have like 1 column, so that you will have this, you see this scroll bar up here, right? Okay, and for print function, just go to your this thing, on select property of this, and just type here something like this, print, and that's it. Print function is this much only. Okay, if I play the app and click on this print form, see, it will print me the form like this, but it is cutting this area, and most part of my page is like blank, and this is not looking good. Okay, so to fix this, what I'll suggest you to just create a new screen. See this, create your new screen, go to your templates, and here see portrait print, just click on this. Okay, once you selected this, you will have one print button here. Either you can keep it or delete it. I'll just delete this button. Okay, go up here, just copy your form from this screen, just copy this, again go to here and paste this form here also. Okay, and just wait for a few minutes. Okay, we have pasted it here. With height, I'll start it from like 20. Okay, or maybe 80 is fine. You can add some header. I'm just adding one like text label. You can like add as per your liking. I'll just say my form data, something like this. I'll give. Okay, I'll give it some color also. Let's give this blue color. Okay, and text color should be white. It looks good with white. Okay, so this is done, right? And this shouldn't be like this. I don't know. Let's keep it as 1, then 2. Okay, so it should be like this. So fine, this much done, right? I hope you are following me. So this much is done. Again, go to your plus button and you have this new form 1, right? So from when you click on this, just again do the same for new form 2. Okay, do something like this. Sorry, form 1_1. I think its name is 1_1. If you so its name is 1_1. Okay, and in this print form here, don't print now. I'll say do not print. I'll just say navigate to screen number 2. Navigate to screen 2. So what will happen now is, once I click on this plus button, I'll see this thing, and if I click on this print form, I'll navigate to this screen, because eventually I will need to print this form, not the previous one, right? Okay, and before moving forward, let me create one, just show you one icon. I'll create one icon here. Let me take this plus icon. Let's type here print. Okay, I'm doing this just to demo you guys. I'll just give it some white color, and on select of this I'll simply say print, right? And if I'll play this, I'll click on this, see how it looks. Now it looks good, right? This page look good. Okay, so if on printing I don't want to like print this thing, okay, if I don't want to print this thing, just simply go to its visible property. If you will go to its visible property, and here what you need to write, here you need to write something like this: if like screen 2 dot printing, if this screen is printing, just hide this, and if it is not printing, just make it visible. Okay, sorry, this thing should be true and this thing should be false. Okay, so while printing, this should not be in my print. So what will happen is, see, if I click on print, this time I'll not see that icon up here. Okay, so again you can see the code. The code is very, very simple. Like if my screen is not printing, show this icon. Okay, and if my screen is printing, just hide it, right? So it is that simple. So yeah, this much part is done. Now the next part is, like, let's say if I fill this form, right? If I give some ID like 1 2 3 make, I'll say BMW, and something model I will give any like Gen 6, something like this. And if I click on print form, so the value are not coming up here. The value that I've entered there, they are not showing up here, right? But we need to show them here also. Let me delete this. I don't need this. So I'll again go to this page. What I'll recommend you guys to do is just click on this. See this, I have selected where I've written 1 2 3. So on the left hand side also, if you'll see the data card value, so the name of this is data card value 1. Just copy this name, right? And close this screen. Go to your screen number 2. Again, in this data card value 1_1, in the default value, so you need to change this default value. So just see this, by default it is lock. Just click on this lock and click on this unlock to change its property. Okay, so once you click on this, so currently it is parent.default. Just change it to data card value dot text. Do something like this. See this 1 2, now you will see 1 2 3 is coming up here. Do the same thing for make and model also. Let me just show you. So again, I'll click on this unlock to change property. This time I know the name of that is 2.text, so I'll do that. And for model also do the same thing. and for rest also do the same thing only. Okay, in this video I'm not going to change like each and everything, but you can. Okay, so I've just changed like these three, and the similar way you can like do for this. Let me like change for this also. It will be data card, I think 4.text. Okay, so go to your screen 1, let's play. Let me change it to like Audi or something like this. I'll say, I don't know what the model name is, but let's say 909. Generation is like 10th generation. And if I'll click print, see, now my values are coming up here, right? 121 Audi, 909, 10. So this is working just fine. And similar way you can have like for this also. Okay, so in that way like you can connect these two screen. Okay, this part is done. Okay, so once I like go to this screen, by default what should happen is once this screen is visible, this form should automatically print, right? So go to its visible property, on visible of this screen. See this, I'm on this screen number 2, and on visible of this I'll say just print my this page, just print this page, simple as that. Once this page is printed, okay, once this page is printed, see I wanted to navigate back to screen number 1, but it will throw me some error if I do here, like if I do something like this. I think it will, yeah, see it throws some error because we can't do this. Why it is saying like this? See, it is saying that if we come to like a screen number 2, by default it will navigate me to screen number 1 only. So our machine doesn't understand what we are trying to do. So just copy this code. Okay, just copy this code, and here instead of this just use a variable or update context, whatever you feel like. I'll just set a variable. I'll say var start timer. I'll say start timer to true. Okay, and I'll also say set var just simply, okay, var start timer to false. I'll explain you like why I've done first false and then true. Just give me a minute, I'll explain you this thing, but do exactly this thing, first false then true. Okay, and now this start var timer, right? So in this screen number 2, just use this timer function. It is very amazing function, this timer function. Okay, so we have this timer function, right? So set its duration to like 100 millisecond or 50 millisecond, but set it to 100 millisecond. So this is in millisecond. If I just add 10, it will be 1 second. This is 100 millisecond. Okay, so I'll go to its on timer end. When the timer will end, I'll just say navigate me back to my screen number 1, right? And start, where is that start? Okay, here is start. I'll use my variable set start timer. Okay, so if this is true, then just start, right? And on timer, and okay, I don't need to do anything now. Okay, so I'll just copy this. Wherever you will use variable on your app, go to your this app, and on start just declare those variable. Okay, where start, okay, not this, where start timer, I'll set it to false. Okay, and whatever changes you do in your app, just click on these 3 dot, just click run app on start. Okay, so see what will happen now. If I'm on screen number 1, I'll play my app, I'll click print from C. Now this is, I'm seeing up my form. I'll hide this, don't worry. Okay, so if I click on save, it will just ask me where you want to save. Okay, so I'll just save it, let's say, and I'm navigating back to this screen, right? So this is how like we can do this and just simply hide this timer function. Just simply hide this timer function. Go to its visible property here. Okay, just hide this and see it looks amazing. Just save your app, go again to your screen number 1. Let me change some value so that you don't think that it is not dynamic. Let me change some value, something like this. Model, let me give like Gen 6, generation 6th. Okay, and if I click on print, see this 895, this name Gen 6, and it is like properly aligned as well. If I'll save it as a new form print, okay, and if I go up here, see this new form print, if I'll see this, see it looks amazing, right? The way it should look. So this is the like best way to use your print function, which I found, because even if you try to print like your this page, it will look ugly and it will create a lot of work for you. So better whatever things you have here in this screen, right, just copy those things and just paste it in this screen and just link those values. Okay, the way I link this, just link your values here. I hope you are getting my point. Like this is the easiest way and the best way to like use this print function. Other way you can also like do something like this. Go to this screen when your page is printing. You can do something like this. Go to your height property and say if, but I won't recommend you to do this. Like this is not a good way. Okay, you can say something like this: if my screen 1 is not printing, then this is fine, then use this. Otherwise just give some random like big value, something like 10,000. okay, and see this, if this time I'll click on, I have to change the code as well. Let me just comment this code and I'll say print. Okay, if this time I'll play the app and click here, see at least like now I'm seeing the whole thing. But again you need to align like your these things also, right? You need to align your these thing also. But now I am seeing everything. Like if I have like extra values also here, I'll see those things also. Okay, let me just show you. If I know some of you might not understood, let's select this form. Let me copy this form and again paste it in this screen. Come on. Okay, I'll say start it from this form 1 plus form 1.y. Okay, let's play. And for this also I'll just copy this line and again I'll say form 1.1_2 also. When I click on this add, just add one more form. Where is this form 2? I think you need to create some vertical containers. Okay, let's go up here. Height of this is, okay, height of this is 0. Man, no, just for now I'll give its height as 500. Okay, so see, you need to create vertical container. Just go to your this screen, go up here, go to this layout. We have this vertical containers, insert. Again I will need to align this 80. I'll say this thing as parent.width. This is extra work for me. I'll say parent.height minus self.y. Okay, something like this. Go to this. Now move up here, and instead of this time I'll just keep its height as 300. Okay, 300 is way too less. Form 1, let's increase its height to 600, or maybe 700 is fine, I think. Yeah, 700 is okay. For this also I'll change its height to 700. Okay, and what I'll do is I'll just cut these two from here and I'll paste it inside this container number 2. Let's wait for few sec. Okay, so this is done. Now just close this flexible height, just turn this off. And one more thing you need to do is go to your container and vertical, this is scroll, we need to turn this on. Okay, just turn this on, just select your this things, say 1, 2, so that it will be properly aligned. But this also do the same thing, 1, 2. Okay, so I think it is done now. And just increase the height of your these forms. Like I know like 700 is not minimum width. Where is that height? See this, increase it to 900. Okay, so that you won't have 2 scrolls. And I'll just change its height to form 1 is done. This is form 2. I'll change its height also to 900. So I'll only see 1 scroll bar. Okay, if I click on add, see this. Okay, now I'm seeing like 2 forms. Now if I click on this print, see, the whole thing is coming up now, right? But if I do one more form, then what will happen is like it will crop that area again. It will just crop and only single page will come up. Again, this is not a good way. Like again, maybe by default this one looks good, but let me increase the size of this form to like something, let's say if it was something like this, 1200, right? And if I again this time if I'll play, see this, again it cut it, right? So again, this is not a good approach. So don't go with this approach. I just showed you, like I have seen many videos and many other YouTubers, like they were showing this technique, which is good but not ideal, I'll say. Okay, so better to use this only, like which I showed you. Just navigate to your this screen, because if you will just go to your new screen, go to template, this screen is made for print only, right? Like portrait print use this, for landscape print use this. So you need to like connect these 2 screens. Now some of you might be wondering like why not start with this screen. See, what happens is if I'm on this screen, it looks like this. See, your app is not like this, your app is like this. Okay, your app is in tablet form, but this page is like A4 size. Okay, so by default it is of A4 size. So better not to like don't give any functionality to user to come up here and make some changes. And here in this, simply this is what happening. If I'm entering some value, okay, and going to this print, it will just say, once I click on the save or maybe cancel, it will navigate me back to my original app. Okay, so I hope you learned something from this video, and this might be really helpful for you. And if you get some insight, then don't forget to like and subscribe this video in this channel. Till then, goodbye, have a nice day.